I did everything: protein, gym, even bone broth. Yet my muscles kept shrinking. Stairs left me shaky, groceries felt heavier, and my confidence slipped away. Why was I still getting weaker? Stay with me. I'll reveal the simple foods that finally reversed my muscle loss after 60. After turning 60, I started noticing something that scared me. Carrying groceries felt heavier. My legs shook halfway up the stairs. One morning, I picked up a bag of oranges at the store, and my hands trembled so much I had to put it back. Another time, I couldn't even twist open a simple pickle jar. I was doing everything right, at least I thought I was. I ate protein, I went to the gym, and I even drank bone broth because people said it was good for strength. But none of it stopped my muscles from shrinking. Every week I felt weaker, and honestly, it was embarrassing. I didn't just feel it in my body. I felt it in my confidence. I started worrying, am I losing the ability to live on my own terms? Am I going to depend on someone else for the basics? That fear pushed me to search for answers, and what I discovered shocked me, because the real reason I was losing muscle had nothing to do with what doctors kept telling me. After turning 60, something changes inside the body that most people don't talk about. It's called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. According to the National Institutes of Health, adults can lose 3 to 8% of their muscle mass every decade after midlife. That's not just numbers on a chart. That's the reason why carrying groceries feels heavier, why it takes longer to get out of a chair, why gardening or climbing stairs suddenly feels like hard work. I learned this the hard way. At first, it was small things. My legs felt shaky after just a short walk. I had to hold on to the railing when I went upstairs. Then, it got worse. Tasks that used to be simple, like bending down to tie my shoes, left me out of breath. I couldn't believe how fast my strength was fading. Many of us assume it's just normal aging. Doctors tell us to eat protein and exercise, so we do. But the truth is, even with the best intentions, the muscle keeps slipping away. And when that happens, independence slips away too. Think about it. When you don't have enough muscle, balance suffers. Falls become more likely. Everyday life feels uncertain. For me, it wasn't just about losing strength. It was about losing confidence. I started worrying about whether I could keep living on my own terms. If you've noticed your body changing like this, I want you to know it's not your fault. This is biology. But here's the part no one told me. Protein and workouts aren't the full answer. Something else is missing. And once I found it, everything started to change. I kept asking myself, what am I doing wrong? I was eating chicken breast, drinking protein shakes, and going to the gym. Yet the mirror showed shrinking arms and the scale showed less muscle. It didn't make sense. The problem is that most of us have been told only half the story. Doctors, magazines, even fitness trainers keep repeating, eat more protein, lift weights. And yes, those things matter. But when you hit your 60s and beyond, protein alone won't stop muscle loss. That's why so many older adults feel like they're putting in the effort, but not seeing results. I fell into the same trap with bone broth. I thought it was packed with collagen, so I drank it every week. But here's the truth. 1 cup barely gives you a fraction of what your body actually needs. No wonder I wasn't getting stronger. And maybe you've noticed the same thing. You're trying, you're eating healthy, but the stairs still wear you out. Your legs still shake when you get up from the couch. That constant effort without progress can feel discouraging. I remember sitting at my kitchen table one night, holding a warm mug of bone broth, and thinking, why am I weaker now than I was a year ago? That frustration pushed me to dig deeper. What I discovered shocked me, because the missing piece wasn't more protein, and it wasn't bone broth. It was something I had overlooked for years. The breakthrough for me came when I learned that building muscle after 60 isn't just about protein, it's about collagen. Not the collagen pills sold in shiny bottles, and not the watered-down bone broth I had been drinking. I'm talking about real food sources of collagen that deliver what the body actually needs. Once I started focusing on the right kind of collagen, things began to change. I wasn't expecting miracles, I just wanted to feel steady when I climbed the stairs or carried groceries. But within a few weeks, I noticed my legs didn't shake as much, and I had more control when I bent down to pick something up. It was surprising because I had overlooked it for years. Collagen is what keeps muscle fibers supported and joints moving smoothly. But it's rarely talked about as the missing link for seniors. We hear about calcium for bones and protein for strength, but collagen often gets ignored. I want to show you the 2 collagen-rich foods that made the biggest difference for me. One is easier to find, and the other is so powerful it shocked me when I tried it. Together, they gave me back the muscle I thought I had lost for good. The first food that made a real difference for me was fish skin broth. I'll be honest, I didn't think much of it at first. I had always eaten salmon fillets, but I usually threw the skin away. Then I learned the skin carries some of the richest collagen you can get. Here's what surprised me. 1 cup of fish skin broth gives around 12 to 15 grams of collagen. That's almost double what most bone broths provide. According to Medline Plus, collagen helps maintain the structure of muscles and connective tissues, which is exactly what we need to fight age-related muscle loss. The best part is how efficiently the body absorbs it. Studies show marine collagen absorbs faster than other types, which means your muscles can use it more effectively. I didn't have to wait long to feel the difference. Within a few weeks of adding it to my meals, I noticed I could climb the stairs without gripping the railing so tightly. Carrying grocery bags felt less shaky in my arms. Making it turned out to be simpler than I expected. I saved the skin from salmon, added ginger and a little sea salt, and let it simmer for a couple of hours. When it cooled, it formed a natural gel. That's when you know the collagen is there. I started small. A cup in the morning with my scrambled eggs, then sometimes at lunch as the base of a vegetable soup. At dinner, I sipped it alongside grilled fish and sweet potatoes. It felt like regular meals, but my body responded in ways protein shakes never gave me. Fish skin broth became the foundation. But here's the truth, it wasn't the only piece of the puzzle. There was another source of collagen, one I never expected to try, and when I combined the two, the results were even stronger. That's what I'll share with you next. The second food that surprised me was chicken feet broth. I'll admit the idea didn't sound appealing at first. I grew up eating chicken soup, but I had never thought about using the feet. Then I learned they're one of the richest natural sources of collagen. 1 cup of chicken feet broth delivers about 15 to 18 grams of collagen. That's even higher than fish skin. Most of it is type 1 and type 2 collagen, which support both muscle fibers and the cartilage in our joints. According to the National Institutes of Health, collagen is essential for preserving strength and mobility as we age. That helped me understand why this simple soup made such a difference. After I started drinking it a few times a week, I noticed changes I didn't expect. My knees felt steadier when I walked my dog. Gardening didn't leave me with the same soreness in my hands and back. Even getting up from the couch felt smoother. It wasn't overnight, but within a month, I could tell my body was recovering faster. Chicken feet broth is easy to make once you try it. I cleaned the feet, simmered them for 4 to 6 hours with onions and herbs, and let the broth cool. When it thickened into a jelly-like texture, I knew it was loaded with collagen. I found ways to enjoy it with everyday meals. In the morning, I whisked in 2 eggs to make a gentle custard-like soup. At lunch, I used it as the base for vegetable soup with carrots and spinach. At night, I sipped a cup before dinner, which seemed to help my body absorb nutrients more effectively while I slept. Here's the real secret. When I combined chicken feet broth With fish skin broth, I was getting both marine and land-based collagen. One worked quickly for repair, the other gave lasting support. Together, they built strength in a way I never thought possible at my age. I wish the story ended there, but it doesn't. Because even when you get the right collagen, certain foods can cancel out the benefits. I learned this the hard way. The first mistake I made was pairing collagen soup with white rice. It felt comforting, the way many of us grew up eating. But I later discovered that white rice spikes blood sugar so high it blocks your body from using collagen the right way. When I switched to quinoa instead, I noticed more strength in my legs within weeks. The second trap was alcohol. For years, I thought one small glass of wine at night was harmless, maybe even healthy. But here's what happened. I was drinking my collagen broth in the evening, then following it with that glass of wine. What I didn't realize is alcohol shuts down muscle repair while you sleep. Once I cut it out on my recovery days, I woke up with more energy and less stiffness. And then there's bacon. I loved adding crispy bacon bits to my soup, but it was working against me. The preservatives and high sodium in bacon cause inflammation, and that inflammation blocks the very muscle growth I was trying to achieve. When I replaced bacon with grilled chicken or turkey, the soreness in my joints eased and my blood pressure improved. If you're drinking collagen broth, don't let these foods undo your efforts. I had to learn through trial and error, but you don't have to. Avoiding these simple mistakes gave me results I never saw with bone broth and protein shakes alone. After a couple of months of staying consistent, the changes were undeniable. I wasn't running marathons, but I didn't need to. What mattered was being steady on my feet again. I could climb the stairs without pulling myself up by the railing. Carrying bags of groceries no longer felt like a struggle. Walking my dog turned back into something I enjoyed instead of something that wore me out. The biggest shift wasn't just physical strength, it was confidence. I no longer worried about falling when I bent down to tie my shoes. I felt comfortable spending time in the garden, knowing I had the muscle support to handle it. Everyday life felt doable again, and that gave me peace of mind. Looking back, I realized the answer had been right in front of me all along. Protein and exercise were important, but collagen was the missing piece. Not the collagen powders on the shelf, not the weak bone broth I had been drinking, but real collagen-rich foods my body could actually use. That's what rebuilt my strength. That's what helped me slow down muscle loss. And if it worked for me, I believe it can make a difference for you too. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Which of these mistakes have you made? White rice, alcohol, or bacon? Drop a comment and let me know. I read every single one. If this video helped you, hit the like button so more people over 60 can find it. Subscribe and turn on the bell because tomorrow I'm sharing something you don't want to miss. A simple 30-second routine before bed that boosted my leg strength without exercise. Share this video with a friend who's worried about muscle loss. It might be the encouragement they need today.